see. There's a first for everything.
You have 4 minutes left.
Can somebody say if you can see my screen before I start to make sure everything's good?
Yep.
Good?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Alright, so I want to go over, first we could talk about kind of what Jerome was talking about. So tapering is going to start this month. 15, taper down $15 billion per month all the way up until June or July, I believe. So I mean, the market has absorbed that news. Well, hold on. So as long as they continue to say that tapering will not affect the rates, I think we're going to be okay. And as long as they don't taper more than what they're talking about, which is going to be 15 billion, I think the market's going to absorb that news as well. And they changed from they kind of did change up their wording on inflation is transitory. That's what they've been preaching this whole time. But they did go from inflation is transitory to transitory inflation is uncertain. So, I mean, we all know inflation is real. It's definitely affecting everybody's daily life. I know when I go buy a bag of hot Cheetos now, it costs me like $4. So, but I mean, as long as they keep hammering that it is going to go away eventually, or get absorbed, then I think we're going to be okay. We can go over some. That's pretty much all they said, and that pumps the market every time they say that. So, and you saw how that went today in the latter half of the day. Look at the hourly. That was when the Fed meeting started, and that was when Jerome was talking. So we kind of see how they react to that, which is good. Hopefully, we can see some continuation into actually the rest of this week. I would like to see, but we are going to need some cool off a little bit. We can't go straight up all the time, but it is nice to do it every now and then. So, I mean, we're not going to need anything like this. We're not going to see anything like this, I don't think, unless they come back and say that rates are going to rise or whatever. So, interest rates or whatever. So, but we are going to see red days, obviously. Every uptrend is going to see red days, so keep that in mind. I didn't enter any new swings the latter half of the day because we did get pretty extended, them talking, so I'm sure it's going to continue into tomorrow, but I didn't want to test that, so I want to see how it reacts overnight and into tomorrow. Tomorrow's already Thursday, so I may enter 1 or 2 swings, but don't expect nothing too heavy coming into the weekend. We did have a really good day today, a good day yesterday. So, I mean, I'm not trying to hammer everybody to overtrade, so, keep it consistent, organized, all that. So, I guess we'll go over some trade recaps real quick. I'm breaking up. Am I breaking up? To anybody else, or is it just JBD?
No, you're good.
I'm good. Alright, well. Oh, okay. So we're gonna go over a couple trade recaps, kind of show you guys what I did post the charts when I did the main ones, which was AMD and OSTK. OSTK, I was waiting for this one for a while. It's been in this triangle for, I wasn't waiting, but the whole race triangle. But I was waiting for a while, and I wanted to enter before, but I didn't because I don't like earnings. So I waited till earnings were over. They got a good earnings report while simultaneously breaking out of this triangle right here, wedge or whatever. And that's when I entered. And we got a good fill, and it's just been really good from there. But this could actually go on a solid uptrend. I went ahead and cut our swing because it was only 2 weeks out. Actually, we're gonna look at the weekly because it was breaking out on every time frame, which is very, very good. It also is having a MACD cross on the weekly, and it was breaking out on the monthly as well. The same pattern on all of them. So I honestly think maybe before next earnings report, this can potentially see a new high, which is what'll be around the 130 area. But we got our 150% out of it, so I'm fine. If it does consolidate to a bull flag with showing signs of continuation, I may do another swing on it. But as of right now, I'm perfectly okay with how that trade went. AMD, we went pretty far on this because I wasn't sure how long this was going to go. This flag right here, handle whatever. As you see, it was red the day after earnings reports, but buyers didn't really let it, get hammered down. So that was showing strength even after. It wasn't a bad earnings report. There was nothing, spectacular about it. There's nothing terrible about it. Buyers never really let it get sold off, so it was already showing decent strength. We entered right where my crosshairs is right here. I was kind of front running this breakout. I didn't think it was going to do it that. I honestly thought it was going to be later in this week, but it did end up doing it that day, and we got continuation all the way up to today. Only thing I have left now is a runner, and honestly, it is going to most likely continue. As you can see, prior breakouts here, they continued up for whoever knows how. I'm not going to calculate it, but it continued up for quite a while. It's going to do the same thing here, and it is going to slow down again. Maybe 133, 135 area, you can see it start slowing down. And then obviously we all took lemonade, and there was nothing special I saw about this. Somebody actually posted it running in the later half of the day yesterday, and this is a formation I've been watching forever. I used to play this ticker a lot. I mean, the company itself really is kind of dog shit, but they were pretty much bottomed out, and they were in this triangle right here. I knew they were going to have some type of technical pop eventually, and you can tell, being beaten down like this, they're heavily shorted. So I just took an overnight lotto when they were kind of running in the later half of the day yesterday, and that just turned out really, really good. Hold on, I can hear somebody. If you have your mic unmuted, can you please mute it? I hear some feedback. What else? What else did we play? Oh, Eva played IWM. This is a formation that everybody has been watching for like forever. It's been in this consolidation area right here. Towards the end of it, it did throw up this triangle right here, wedge, whatever. And we're showing finally signs of breaking out. It did fake it out at the top of this formation multiple times. It bounced off this channel. But it finally did break that 235 area. And what we saw today was just major move up. And we can honestly see that continue well above 240, I believe. And if you don't know, hold on, I can hear myself. I don't know who it is. If you don't know, IWM is their holdings are on small caps, so it's very, very large holdings. Small caps. So when this is running, small caps are gonna run. So that's when you see like SoFi running, Fubo. What else did we see? We saw you guys were posting them all day long. There was hundreds of small caps running today when this is running. So you can take advantage of this, or you can take advantage of individual names. Doesn't matter. I think Eva is swinging this overnight as well. Maybe. I'm not sure if she closed her whole position or left her runner. As far as tomorrow goes, seen anything?
వీడియో చేస్తున్నా
Who is that? Can you please mute your mic?
అదే నరేష్ బర్త్డే కానీ పిలిచిన ఆవిడ బర్త్డే అంట వస్తావా అదే చిన్నగా
Okay. As far as setups, I'm gonna look at more pre-market tomorrow. I want to see how we're gonna do overnight, how the futures are gonna do overnight, and see how everything is pre-market. So I don't really have a list right now. But Netflix does look good. It's been on a solid uptrend. I did get that news yesterday, but they kind of sold it off. But I do think we see 700 on Netflix soon. Maybe by, I hate to say by Friday, that's a bold statement, because we could see more consolidation up to then. But as you can see, it has been on a solid uptrend, flags along the way. So I'm just watching that one. What else? Apps got murdered today, after hours, or whatever. Earnings. This is something I'm probably looking at for equity, possibly. Roku as well. Roku got pretty slammed on earnings. UPST is one that I'm watching. I just don't think it's ready yet. So it is, it needs to cool off a little bit. It was on a freaking bender for a long time. It did nothing but up. So that's, I mean, when that happens, they are going to cool off for a while. You can't expect anything to go straight up. Activision, this company, I believe, is just dead. It's nothing but down. I think when it does go, it's probably going to be heavily shorted, so you could see a squeeze out of it eventually. Lyft had good earnings. As you can see, it had like an inverse cup that it kind of broke out of when it did the earnings. That could see continuation. But with the day we had today, it's kind of hard to judge what everything's going to do tomorrow. So I'm going to wait till pre-market tomorrow to really... I'm going to wake up earlier and do some more analysis pre-market tomorrow. Lemonade does have earnings, but I know they had good news, something about they're going to start doing car insurance. I know they do like rental insurance right now or whatever. Macy's still looks good. It's been like pretty parabolic lately, but it was heavily shorted for a long time. So that's good, but it is coming up into earnings. Not until the mid-November. And CVS, I know a lot of you guys are still holding this up into earnings, and congratulations. I know somebody said they went like 700% on this CVS call, so I ended up paper handing mine, but this was a good trade overall. What about QCOM? Yeah, QCOM had good earnings, I believe. I think they did. So I was listening to that. This could definitely see continue with a candle like that on earnings reports. It may cool off a little bit sometimes, but this could definitely see continuation. So we can look at the fibs on it. Really, just kind of give an estimate. Obviously the first level will be this high. I'm not sure. Yeah, would this be this high right here? 152. You could see it go all the way up to 160, I believe. Not in a straight shot, but a good earnings report can definitely reverse a downtrend. You see it was a downtrend here. It did run up in the earnings report a little bit, but I mean a good earnings report can always reverse a downtrend. I know Futu did a buyback today, and kind of they had pre-market reaction, but it didn't capitalize on that, so that's kind of disappointing. Uber, theirs is November 4th, so it's going to be tomorrow. I'm not sure if that's pre or post market. That'll be a good play, honestly, if that's post market. Due to Lyft having good earnings, they're also a rideshare company, so this could be a simple play that could get a good day trade out of. Beyond has not had their earnings yet, so they're doing a run up into earnings. If you guys have chart requests, you can go ahead and post them. And the chart requests, this will keep going up last 3 weeks. Will Viac ever come back? Who knows? I think Viac. I know at one point entered in leaps because there was a company talking about acquisition of somebody talking about buying this company, but it never happened. Until then, it's like just dead. It's just flat. It's gonna have earnings, but they haven't done anything as a company, so their earnings probably is not gonna affect the stock at all. Yeah, I did too. PanCon, I did too. Cause PayPal bought them finally. I hope so. I'm holding that bag strong. It did throw up a hammer today, but it was only strong when the market was strong, so It has 0 relative strength, but this could possibly be the bottom. This was charted out well before this sell-off ever happened. This zone right here. So, but I'm holding. I'm a real bag holder on this one. I'm just gonna hold up and through earnings. It's beaten down. A semi-good earnings report should send it back up. And maybe put us back green. Diz is I don't like playing calls. I don't like to play option contracts on Disney because the price action to me is awful. The continuation always sucks. There's so much red in their uptrends, and they seem to always throw pretty long wicks, so you got to be kind of fast. But as far as equity goes, I like this company for equity as long as I'm waiting until after this. I might start they've been releasing a bunch of movies and stuff and a lot of good news. They're just not reacting to it. It's been in this channel right here. I might enter a small position in equity before this earnings report, but nothing crazy because as you can see with a lot of companies, I mean this could easily go to 150 on a bad earnings report. But if they do have a good earnings report, it could hopefully send it out of this channel on another uptrend. And then at that point I might look into playing option contracts on it, but in this channel right here, in the price action that it shows in this channel, it just burns you up. How do you decide which strikes to use when scalping? I usually go first out the money, or second or third, depending on delta. I like to look for a 40 delta. Do you have a rule of thumb? Yeah, I'd like to look for delta somewhere close to 40. I don't go in the money. The only time I do go in the money is for long-term leaps, possibly sometimes, but I don't really play a lot of in the money. So first or second out the delta, out of the money, usually we'll have a 40 delta. And if you don't know, if delta is, so if it has 40, every dime the dollar, the stock moves up $1, it'll move up 40. So Google had good news today, but I didn't get a chance to look into it, and I should have because this is a swing for me. But as you can see, it did run up to 3,000 or almost to 3,000. The high 2,900, 2,975. And it's kind of consolidating in this area right here, which is okay with me. It did have a good earnings report, so it should send it on its normal uptrend that it's been on for forever. So I'm not really concerned about Google, but as far as calls go, I would look for a break of the high 29.75. I wouldn't. There's not much price action in between that I would look into playing. Puts, I wouldn't, only because it did have a good earnings report. So I feel like anything below a key level is just going to get bought up. Amazon. I can clear these now. Amazon I'm skeptical on only because they missed their earnings report by a lot, if I remember correctly. But a break over 3,400 does look good for a day trade. I wouldn't be interested in swinging it. I got to give it a little time to see what direction it really wants to go. It did get bought up, but it hasn't moved since that engulfing candle right here on the earnings report. So yeah, so a break over 3,400 does look like it could send it to at least the 3,430, 3,470, and possibly 3,500 if you're lucky. Yes, Ghost Trader, this is going to be recorded. Z? Yeah, Zillow got destroyed by that guy on TikTok. Well, also earnings reports, but the guy on TikTok, I'm not sure if you guys saw the video, if you were interested in Zillow. The guy on TikTok kind of brought to light Zillow's business strategy. I could give it in brief overview real quick. It's kind of funny that the stock gets, pushed down because of a guy on TikTok. But so Zillow will go into certain zip codes and then they'll buy 9 houses for. They know how much everybody can afford because they have data on everybody in the zip codes because everybody goes to Zillow when they're searching for houses, right? So they know how much people can afford per zip code, and so Zillow will go in and say there's a 10 houses for sale for 300,000, right? So they'll go in and they'll buy 9 houses for 300,000, right? They know how much people can afford when they go to flip them. So they buy 9 houses for 300,000. They buy the last one for 350,000. Why did they buy the last one for 350,000? To put in the area that a house was bought for 350,000. So boom, automatically makes the rest of the houses worth 350,000. And then they started offering their own lending and their own, I don't know, appraisals, I think, and this and that. But they're basically hyperinflating the housing market as a company. But then they said their house flipping business wasn't profitable during their earnings call, and they said they're no longer going to be flipping houses. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Yeah, they had all the info and they were doing all this, and then they lost. But I mean, I guess as far as levels, I wouldn't be interested in playing it. I guess if you're really a bear or really like a short seller, this could definitely see more downside. Um, Pull it all the way back. This would be a level to watch under 57, $58 could pay. But as you can see, buyers are stepping in that area, so that's something to watch out for. Riot. Yeah, I'm gonna go to chart request too. We're gonna kind of speed through these. I got to record a podcast tonight as well. Yeah, Riot, and I don't remember what Mar looks like, but I'm sure it's looks like Riot. Riot actually looks good. It is breaking on this bull flag right here. As far as levels to watch, I mean, it does look like it's gonna continue, but this is one of the things you gotta have kind of a crypto. Keep crypto in the back of your mind when you're looking at any blockchain companies. If you see crypto dump, you're obviously going to see the blockchains dump as well. So keep a Bitcoin on a screen or in a tab or whatever you want to do. But as far as levels to watch, I would definitely look over the 35.5 area. I mean the 35 area, somewhere around there, the 34.5 to 35 area. The 37, mid 37s. And then it could possibly see 40 if it wants to continue, but this is a zone that it kind of has been bouncing around in right here. So you can't expect very much continuation until it kind of shows strength out of the zone. Palantir. I covered this one the last time we did a recorded session. Not much has changed, even with a decent market that we have today. We're still not seeing much continuation. Last time it had good news, it plummeted, so I'm not sure what exactly it needs, but equity wise, I think this is a good stock to own, especially if you have a cost basis of the low 20s. I wouldn't buy it over $30 for sure. I wouldn't buy it over $27 as far as equity, but it does have earnings in a few days. If you're long on Palantir, just be wary of that. It reacted well last earnings and the earnings prior, but so the last 2 earnings have put it on an uptrend, and it's kind of done the same exact pattern. So we could see the same thing happen. Low, yeah. Low and Home Depot both have been completely outperforming the market. It's crazy. So Low, I remember when Low did this move down here, and it sent it into this here, and it's broke out of that. But now we're sitting near all-time highs. We are basically at highs on this channel right here. As far as how long this channel is going to go, As long as the market keeps doing what it's doing, I can see this breaking out once again, especially as we approach earnings on November 17th, so mid this month. As far as calls go, I would definitely look at over the 235.7, which will be the high. The high is 235.9, so look at calls over that. Puts, it's too strong, honestly. I don't fight the trend too much when it comes to stocks like this. It's been on a solid uptrend. The most you're going to get is maybe a $2 to $3 move, but there's more reward on the upside. So if this starts to fall a little bit, I don't think the risk to reward is there. There's other stocks that are going up because the market is going up. So that's something I just keep in mind. I try not to make things complicated when it comes to shorting. Like today we saw all small caps run. I'm not going to go try to find the one small cap that's not running just so I can say I can short it. So we should have played Amazon like Tesla today. Yeah. Do you scan for opportunities based on certain criteria you look out for, or do you have a set to go symbols to look at on the daily? Yeah, I have multiple different watch lists. All of these are different. They're all different watch lists. But I usually go through my all, which is composed of hundreds, I think, of tickers. And I skip through names. I know what names run, know what names don't. I know what names are volatile and which ones aren't. You know, you got your classic ones. You got Tesla, Affirm, Nike, AMD, Adobe, Amazon, UPS. These are all like popular plays. But then I also have hundreds of other plays that nobody hardly talks about, but I still keep on heavy watch because you never know when they're formed. Like Dollar General, we're gonna probably enter a swing in Dollar General tomorrow if it stays strong. Who I don't remember the last time somebody said, "Hey, calls on Dollar General at this price." But Dollar General to me looks great. It did bounce off here at this support right here. It has been on a solid uptrend. Has taken a little small break, throwing up a flag right here. Broke out of it today. I didn't want to enter it on the day just because if you look at like the 15-minute, it was kind of extended because it did drop down earlier in the day. So by the time it did break out, it was already extended from the low of the day. So I took that as a no. I'm not going to enter it yet, but I am probably scoping an entry tomorrow. I think that's probably actually my favorite setup. It doesn't really get much better than that. Like Crowd, and then there's names that I don't play ever. They just sit on my watch list. EDU, but at night or in the morning or both, I just flip through. It's all really in my head. What tickers I know are going to do this or what aren't going to perform. If the market performing, these will also perform. And this is just something you get from watching the market. It's over time it gets really easy. I'm sure a lot of other people in this chat are the same exact way. If you look at tickers day in and day out, you'll know which ones perform with the market. You know which ones outperform the market. You know which ones will underperform the market. AMC has earnings on Monday. Do they? They do. And it looks very good. It kind of faked us out today. That's okay. I wasn't an AMC guy or a GME guy when they first started, but now the volatility has kind of slowed down a little bit, and it's not too crazy like it used to be. The technical aspect of it is a little more predictable now, so I do actually like to play these. GME looks very good as well. I think on the weekly, GME looks the best, if I remember. Yeah. So GMA looks just as good. They run simultaneously together. So it did break out on the weekly today. Going for MACD cross, you could see continuation on GME, especially if the GME apes or whatever they call themselves really step in and press the gas on it. What's the play for Tesla? 1325. That's a very good question. I have no price target. I really just want to see it break and hold over the highs. That's the weekly. The all-time high. I want to see it break and hold over that. Yeah, 1327 is my next fib. I mean, if we get that tomorrow, those calls will be worth an insane amount of money. I don't want to get anybody's hope up because that's a ridiculous move, you know. That's well over $100. That's a crazy move. That's the 99% chance it's not going to happen. But that is the next fib level, so you could see that in the coming week or so. But as far as the lotto was going, I just want to see it break. I'll be happy if it breaks and hold the high. I didn't grab an expensive lotto. I grabbed pretty far out the money. It won't gain as good, but I didn't want to spend a bunch of money on a lotto. But the way Tesla is right now, pretty much anything within like 30 strike prices moves as the stock moves, so you'll gain money on it. So you can't do that with everything. You can't go to Dash and go 20 strike prices out and expect it to move with the same time Dash moves, or I mean under small moves. You just can't do it. Only super volatile stocks like Tesla and GME when it was running, AMC when they were running. Can I look at Shop? Yes, I can. Shop faked this yesterday, but I didn't watch it today. It kind of didn't do anything. Yeah. So Shop actually broke out over this trend line here. I had it in a broadening formation that it has respected up until it broke out here, but it showed strength on Monday, but then got completely swatted back down. Buyers didn't really step in yesterday. In the later half of the day, we did see it kind of go green, but I think if it can get a break and a close over 1500 on the day, then we could see it on an uptrend. But as far as calls work, I would want to see a break over these two highs right here. They've obviously, the 1535 is obviously proven to be decently strong, so you want to see buyers step in over 1535 and kind of push it. Futu faked me out today. Yeah, with the buyback today, I actually thought Futu was going to go. They had a $4 billion buyback or whatever. I don't know the specifics of it. But honestly, even with the buyback, good news, it hasn't moved. But I hate to say it is bottom, but it does look like it should be bottom. It could see 50 again, maybe, if it wants to see more downside. It's not really showing signs of an uptrend. You can see like it's throwing out these little flags. Bear flags all the way down. It's doing it again here. So you could see that break down again. Maybe go to 50-ish range. Plug. Plug. This actually looks pretty good. I'm gonna get rid of this and this. So it did break out of, well, more so this area right here. And then it did break this high right here, and it has seen pretty solid price action from then. But even with small caps running, Plug did not see a good day today, so I would definitely keep that in mind. You may see profit takers in this area because there's a lot of people trapped that were accumulating down here, so they are up pretty good now, so it could be hard for the uptrend to continue. Definitely look for a break of the recent high. I'm definitely a technical trader, but I do follow momentum. as well. GME, was it a technical setup or a Momo setup? It was a technical. It was breaking out on, I would like to say it's a technical. I didn't see too many people pushing it. It looked like a technical pop, especially on the weekly, as you can see, from the all-time high that we made back in January when we did that short squeeze happened. And it's seen this right here multiple times. You can see a pop right there, just like we saw today, a pop right there, and just like you saw right here, a pop right there. I'm not sure if history is going to repeat itself with these small technical pops. If it does, then you could see maybe another green day, like here, right here, and then a downtrend following. It's kind of hard to predict because the following that fuels this, they want to see it go up, so it can go up if they really push the gas. I look at call option flow sometimes, but I don't base my trades heavily off call option flow, but I do occasionally. I do have unusual whales, but I kind of use that to. I don't use it to base my trades off, but it does give me trade ideas sometimes. I get the notifications, and I'll go look at it, and sometimes it looks like a good setup. A lot of times it doesn't. Sometimes I don't know what these people are thinking. I think the last time I actually took one strictly off call option flow was UPST Monday or last Friday, and that did not work. So I don't do it very often. What do you think the most probable bullish setup looks like? This right here. This is my favorite. This is one of my favorites. On a daily setup, when you see an uptrend, go into a solid uptrend like this has right here. Go into a flag right here. It's likely going to continue out. As long as it has that solid backing behind it of it already being in an uptrend, then it's likely going to do the same thing. For how long? That's hard to guess a lot of times. Those, and then as like on AMD likes to do these right here, not the cup and handle. But flags are my favorite because you can kind of guess when they're bottoming out. But also these right here. But you really have to judge it by price action when it does break out. So I remember we traded this right here, I believe, in this Discord, maybe. We traded AMD when it popped up right here, but it did come down for 3 days and finally go again. So that was kind of a rough 3 days to hold. If I would have judged price action a little bit better that day, then I could have waited for an entry. But regardless, the trade turned out green. But yeah, wedges are really nice. And then I don't like to try to bottom tick, as you can see with PayPal. That is not my strong suit. But you can't be strong at everything. I tried to bottom tick PayPal, and that's not worked. So that's definitely not. I don't do a lot of bounces per se. I like breakouts. Do you trade off this daily chart you're showing us? Yeah, sometimes I do. Sometimes I'll enter in on the daily chart without even What is bullish put writing? Is when somebody's selling writing puts. I need to do a write up on it because it's kind of hard to explain. Or you can see if you look at call option flow, you can see if it's the bid side or the ask side. So if people are unloading puts, it's bullish because they think the stock's going up. They need to get rid of their puts. How do you get downtrend breakouts without getting wicked? That's very hard to do because when you're doing a downtrend breakout, it's very easy to get wicked. The confirmation bias has to be perfect, so you really have to watch price action and do very hard stops along the way, or else you can get very wicked very easily. What do you look at? I can hear somebody. Is Albert in here? Hi, Albert.
Yo, what do you think about skills earnings?
Oh, skills. They missed, right? Well, no, they the earnings per share was good though, right? It was better
No,
than the negative that
it
they
was
predicted.
so bad.
Was it
No, it
bad?
was so bad. It was so bad.
Do
It
you
was
look
so
at?
bad.
Yeah, sorry. Are you gonna unload your bag or are you just gonna hold forever?
I already unloaded some.
Alright. Do you look at open interest besides Delta and LCM? Yeah, I look at open interest a lot when I'm choosing out the money calls. As far as a good open interest, anything over 200 or 300 used to be okay. But some people say that a large open interest is bearish. I don't really. Maybe Albert knows, but I don't get that. How do you? I already answered that. Oh, I guess I can do Lucid real quick. I think Lucid goes back to 30. I think this is a sell the news. But as far as technical speaking, I mean, it did see a solid pop out of this area here. And it has kind of thrown up a flag. It's about halfway back down now, so it could see another pop out. But I don't put my money on this unless you have a low cost basis on equity. I know I have other chart requests. I think there's a bunch of them. Oh my goodness. I did Riot. I can do coin real quick. Okay, so coin's target is moon, as long as Bitcoin is moon. Coin is just going up because it's coin, I guess. It finally broke out of this channel that has been in ever since the dump from IPO after Jim Cramer said he likes it at 475. He might finally break even. But I would look for a break over the 618, which will be around 348. But it is coming up in earnings, so you could see it run all the way up in earnings, which is next week. Tesla bull. Yes, I'm a Tesla bull. I'm bullish as long as Tesla's going up. Maxer. That must be a small cap. I've never heard of it. This doesn't look bad actually. It's probably heavily shorted, so maybe you can see a nice pop on this break right here. I would definitely look for over $30. It did just have earnings today. Maybe they reported, or they have earnings. No, they're not today. They must be. Earnings is not reported. It should have been today. But if they were good, then look for a break over 30. Maybe all the way up to 31.50, 33.30, $35. Maybe that earnings report can put it on an uptrend. And if it's shorted, then possibly you could see some good action. Docs. Yeah, I like this one. Docs finally did break out. And it didn't fake out yet. Over $75, but hopefully it can get some continuation as it approaches earnings next week. I would definitely look over 75, 75.15, somewhere around there. The call spread on this one is kind of wide, so you got to be a little bit careful. But if you do some research and like the stock, I don't think this is super bad for equity, but I'll wait for after earnings. Affirm. Yeah, this is one of those ones you just gotta wait for somebody else to acquire their system to use. Until then, I think it's just gonna be like it is now. Hopefully somebody else will announce that they're gonna use Affirm as well. But it does look good. Maybe it can break the 165.70 area, 166 area, and do a small run up into earnings next week. FCX. earnings. 0% surprise. Oh, it didn't have bad earnings. It looks okay. It hasn't moved much after earnings, but it didn't dump after having earnings. So, I mean, if you want to play calls on it, I would look over $40. If you know anything about the stock and would read the earnings report, if it's good, I wouldn't recommend shorting it. I did Google, Amazon, did all of these. I think. Hi Ben, I'm down 67% on it. Well, are you actually down 67%? There's no way. How? Is everybody else down 67% on the 4.4 fill? There's no way. Your wife left you. You don't have a wife, Albert. And she took the kids. Rest in peace. You're better off. S-Fix, what is that? I mean, not much to talk about. It does look like it's based in this low $30 area. Maybe you can see a technical pop. It's probably shorted as well. It looks like everything else that looks like this. But maybe if you like equity and you like the company, it doesn't look like it's proven itself too much to shareholders. But I mean, over 36 looks good. Maybe you can get a technical pop. I'm not sure. I've never played this. I'm not sure what it is. MU starting to break out. Is it? Almost. Well, on my accord anyways, it's almost there. It isn't as nice falling wedge when it does break out. It could definitely move up to, I'd say almost $74 with no issue. Airbnb. Oh, earnings tomorrow. Post market tomorrow, so maybe you can see an actual break of this area here tomorrow. Maybe it's gonna do a little run up over about to say the 176.5, 177 area. 177. You see a break of that, maybe you can see 180. But I would not I wouldn't hold through Airbnb's earnings if you're a bull on it. Hey, we're green on Tesla. Moderna? Sure, why not? Looks like poop. I don't like this company. We'll go to the weekly. Well, maybe. Uh-oh. I might be getting disconnected. Maybe not. Yeah, we're seeing a nice, maybe not a bear flag. It potentially bottomed out, but I feel like if it breaks this bear flag on the weekly, it does have earnings. It has earnings tomorrow, pre-market. So that'll be the determination if this is continuing to get shorted or if it's going to go back up. I think the earnings actually are going to be really good because an assload of people took the Moderna shot. It only makes sense for them to have a good earnings report. I mean, who knows? They should have made a lot of money. CVS took off. Yeah, I know. I didn't stay in the trade long enough. On a weekly, it looks freaking crazy. You can definitely see continuations. It had a good earnings report. How long do you wait before trading at market open? It depends on how SPY looks, how QQQ looks. Sometimes I'll trade in the first minute, and then sometimes I'll wait. It just depends on how the price action is. If somebody can please mute their mic, thank you. I can hear a baby. What is your workflow for alerts, watch list, and getting into trades quickly? As far as alerts, I just watch main levels to alert for or break over main levels and then retest or small areas of consolidation. Getting in trades quickly. Don't ask for a crazy fill if you're really trying to get in. How can you clean up your charts? What is your strategy? How clean do you keep your charts? I keep them just like they are now. I might throw some moving averages up there, but other than that, I look at formations, price action, and then basic moving averages. Like if I'm watching, I watch a 3-minute a lot for when I'm actually trying to engage an entry. And I watch the 15-minute a lot, and from there I use like the 8 and the 21 to kind of gauge entries or exits. I exit a lot based off moving averages. So like if this lost the 8, was testing the 21, didn't look like it's going to hold the 21, I would exit. But I use those a lot on the daily time frames to kind of show, because when a stock is under all moving averages, the breakouts are not as powerful because the moving averages are going to do nothing but cause resistance along the way. So like you see CVS right now is above all moving averages. So breakouts are going to be, seems to be a little stronger when that happens. They don't have to fight through those resistances along the way. UPST looks clean. I just think it needs a little bit more time. I mean, it was on a bender for like weeks, right? So I think it just needs a little bit more time to cool off. We could see it kind of do what it's doing now up until earnings. Can you walk through the mentality of picking a trade, time and risk, and your usual trade with a time frame in mind based on the chart? Maybe use dollar store as an example. I've been playing Lulu all way, making 10 to 25%, but it's a tough name. Yeah, Lulu is kind of slow, but it is rewarding. It does have pretty good, decent price action. It just doesn't move very quickly. My mentality when picking a trade, I don't overthink it. I watch volume, see when buyers are coming in, see when sellers are coming in. I watch main levels. If you see a breakthrough, we are gonna use Dollar General real quick. So just I can go on like a 15-minute to kind of shorten the time frame a little bit. So this was the main area to watch right here. That was my trigger right around there. Actually, we'll go on a smaller. Now, if this wasn't so overextended, I would have entered it. So as you can see right here, was first thing to know about support and resistance or triggers, hypothetically. They're not definite. They're just an idea of a support or resistance zone. So as you can see right here, it bounced off of this zone. Buyers weren't really stepping in until it finally did cross, and you saw a solid uptrend. But granted, this was also when the market was really strong towards the end of the day, so it could possibly be a fake out. But that's kind of what it looked like when it breaks that zone that you have in mind. Kind of look for buyers to step in, or I mean, you could get wicked out and you see sellers step in and push it right back down. That's how breakout traders would get trapped. You know, they see one candle go up above, they'll buy. Say our zone was say our zone was right here, and this wick came above. Oh, it passed the 222.40. We're good to go. Boom. You get faked out, and you're like, oh, well, it's not going to go. And then you sell right here, and then boom, buyers finally actually step in. and then it goes, right? This isn't the best example, but that's kind of how I think about it. You just kind of watch price action. If it's not strong when it breaks that level, then it's likely going to get swatted back down. So like we saw Tesla break the high today, and then the last couple minutes it went like a couple dollars within a few minutes. As soon as it broke that high, it was just parabolic, and you see that a lot with small names, big names, whatever the case may be. How do you look at volume? You just look at influxes long day. So a lot of people look at volume and then they just assume that that high volume in the price is gonna push. I look at volume when I'm in the trade more specifically, especially when it's getting bought up. If it's getting bought up on low volume or high volume, stop losses. Yeah, I'll cover that in a second. So if it's getting bought up on low volume or high volume, or if it's breaking out on low volume, different things like that. I mean, stop losses are kind of subjective to the person, but I do them by, let me pick a different stock. Or I can just use the daily time frame for this. The way I do stop losses, so it's breaking out of this flag right here, right? My stop loss, if this was my trigger here, my stop loss would be not that trigger specifically, because it can come down and retest it very, very easily. You know, so if I enter when it broke and confirmed over this trigger, I would want my stop loss to be back in this zone of consolidation right here, right? This is where you don't want to be. You don't want to be stuck and bouncing back and forth. You know, you break back into this zone, you can potentially see the bottom of it. As you can see multiple times, it's tested up here, bounced back down up here, and now it's finally broke out. So this is where you don't want to be. You want your stop loss to be in there. When it's confirmed downtrend, when it's confirmed reversal against you, whichever direction that goes, say it was breaking to the the downside, then you want your stop loss to be back up in this area. It's breaking out to the upside. You want your stop loss to be, and that's how I do stop losses on breakouts. Yes, I'll cover it in NDM. Yeah, the 200 SMA held on PayPal but I mean, who knows if it's over. I'm just gonna hold through earnings reports, and hopefully, I mean, it should be like beaten down, battered and bruised right now. So, in NDM, I think this is not something that I would technically play. I can get rid of some of these. We're gonna keep the 200 up though. It hit that it hasn't crossed that 200 since it broke it in May of this year, and ever since it fell down below it, it's been stuck in this area right here. As you can see, as it approached 200 again today, it got swatted back down. So that 200 is definitely, you're going to want to watch for confirmation over that 200 EMA. That 200 EMA right now is 655. So it got completely swatted down today. If you see a break over 655 and it holds, then you could see more uptrend, but I would definitely watch for a break over that. Why did CAR go parabolic yesterday? I don't know the specifics behind it. Maybe everybody thinks they're going to be the next one to. They are a car rental company, right? Maybe the next Hertz. Maybe they're going to buy Tesla cars. Who knows? Partnership with who? Pralex. Kroger. What is CAR exactly? Avis Budget Group. I didn't play it, so I didn't really care about the ticker. I did have it in my watch list because somebody told me a few weeks back they were pointing out the uptrend that it was on and said that they were going to buy a swing position on it, and whoever that was I hope that they stuck to their plan because they could have been heavily rewarded. Do you go down to lower time frames and scalp? Yeah, I scalp in the 3 minute mostly. But in environments like we had today, I scalped GME barely. Other than that, and I failed on a Tesla put, but other than that, I just kind of let the trades that we had open do what they did. There's no need to overcomplicate it. If you're already making money, you don't have to make put yourself at risk for losing money at the same time. So I mean, I was making money with open swings. Why need to, test that with scalping? Because scalping is, I think, probably the riskiest way to trade. Alright, anything else, guys? We've been doing it for 1 hour now, so we're about at that limit. I can take a few more questions if anybody has anything. Yeah, I barely made it out today. DraftKings, yeah. When it came to scalping GME, I barely made it out today. But I did end the trade green, and I only ended the trade green because I put a ridiculously low fill, and somebody filled me for it. So I came out. I started the trade like super green. Scalping is riskier than swinging, in my opinion. Yes, but I like swinging. I'm not big on scalping. I do it, but I'm definitely a swing trader, as most of you can tell. I like to just let the trend do its thing. DraftKings, yeah. So not much to say until earnings. So this is something that's going to do exactly what it's doing now up until earnings.
Bye.
I can hear the kid want to talk to me. If not, can you mute your mic, please? Thank you. ADI. Yeah, ADI actually looks really good. I think I did this last time. So it's in the gap. I think it was here last time somebody asked me about it. It did fake out on that high though, with a pretty massive gap down, but it is in that gap, so you could definitely see that gap fill. The bottom of that gap fill, or the top of the gap fill, is about 180. So you're going to see some resistance at 180. Other than that, once it breaks that gap fill, I don't see any problem with it going up to a new high. It's on a solid uptrend. I'm not sure why it gapped down. It must have had a negative catalyst, obviously, but it does actually look really good. So, but it can gap fill. So if you're in it right now at 178.73, definitely look at 180 being a take profit target. If it breaks back above that, watch that previous high, that 181 area, all the way up to the 182.5, 183 area. Open, yes. I'm gonna save this one. Oh, it's a semi. That's right. I remember who asked me about it last time, I believe. Open. That's right. It must have. I can't imagine that's a technical breakdown. It must have had bad news. This is actually a bullish pattern up here, but it broke down to the downside. Moving averages to watch. It did bounce off as 100 EMA right there. So if it does break down below that, basically 1975, and you could look at $19 being the 200. But earnings report is next week, next Friday, next Thursday. So that could save whatever negative catalyst, or that can make it worse. Who knows? Moved with Z News. Oh, okay. Open Door Technologies. I guess that makes sense. Yeah. What are my thoughts on UPS? UPS is a good company, especially coming into the holiday season. But it does look like they could possibly. They gapped up on earnings, right? You see that? And they are. This can either be a flag and break back up to the upside. But if it breaks down below today's high, I would definitely expect it to gap fill, which isn't too far down. The 205 area would be the bottom of this gap fill right here. So after 205, they did have good earnings, so if that gap gets filled, then it's no big deal. It shouldn't affect it too much. It should be on an uptrend. Do you think TSM is ready? Do you think TSM is ready? You've been playing it. No. I mean, maybe. It does have a gap down here that needs to get filled. But it is kind of stuck in between these moving averages here. But it does look good on a technical standpoint. Kind of right here, it is throwing up maybe a little flag. You could see it come back down to the 200, but there's a gap right here. So if you see it break that, then you could see it come down. There's a gap right there. But it did it have a good earnings report? I didn't watch it. So maybe if they had a good earnings report, then over 115. Definitely watch the 100 moving average, which is 115.5. The top of the flag, which is around 116.7. Alright, my computer is almost dead. Anything else before I log out, guys? I'm not going to record a podcast. Do some charting. Eat the rest of my Chipotle. If everybody's good, I'm good. Alright. I hope you guys have a great night. And hopefully tomorrow we can reenact what we did today. Maybe Tesla will bless us. We'll find out. What podcast? Me and Albert Trades have a podcast together. We started it. Albert went to Europe on a trip, so we haven't got to record too much, but we are going to get it started right back up. We're going to have some pretty cool guests on, hopefully in the future some pretty big names. But we are just going to do me and him again for this week. We're going to release it this weekend, hopefully. I'm not going to do the edit for the... I'll do it. I'll create a socials channel with, it'll have my YouTube in it and stuff. Yeah, it's on YouTube. I record it on Zoom, but what do we talk about? We talk about kind of like what I talk about in here. We talk about the outlook of the market, what happened in the past, and then we talk about personal stuff. It's a podcast. We kind of like to have fun. We don't have to keep it super serious, you know. We want to kind of lighten the mood because, you know, there's enough podcasts out there where people don't smile and they just talk about this ticker did this. So we like to kind of keep it a little more joyful than that. We kind of speak on whatever comes to mind. We have a little bit of a what to go by, what we really need to talk about. But other than that, we kind of just talk about whatever. Me and Albert are really good friends, so it's easy for us to do that. Yeah, and Remy, I have this recorded, which I will stop now.